Once upon a time, there was a pregnant woman named Natalia who was about to give birth. One late night, her mom hurried her to the hospital, but since it was past midnight, all the doctors had gone home. Luckily, there was one nurse still on duty who helped Natalia deliver her baby. But as soon as the baby arrived, everyone froze in shock. Natalia's newborn started floating in the air, all on his own. Natalia couldn't believe her eyes. She held him close and whispered to her mom, "I think I've given birth to an angel." But her mom had a different take. She warned Natalia that if the world found out about her child, they'd experiment on him, and she'd lose him forever. They had to keep his secret safe. Terrified, Natalia agreed, and the two of them quietly snuck back home in the middle of the night. The nurse tried to stop them, but they brushed her off and left. Once they were home, Natalia's mom asked a strange question. "One day, your son will want to know who his father is. Do you even remember him?" Natalia replied that she had no idea who the father was. She had been with many men and didn't care about the details. All she wanted was to raise her baby on her own. She named him Oscar. As time went by, Natalia and her mom were so busy that they left Oscar alone for just a moment. In an instant, he floated up and stuck to the ceiling like a balloon. His grandma panicked, pulled him down, and covered the ceiling with soft blankets to keep him safe. As Oscar grew up, Natalia and her mom kept him indoors, terrified that someone might find out about his amazing ability. Oscar would watch other kids play from his window, dreaming of joining them. Since he couldn't go to school, his grandma taught him at home. He spent a lot of time watching superhero shows like Batman and Superman, and because he could float just like them, he started to think he was a superhero too. One day, Oscar asked his mom, "Why can't I go outside?" But Natalia just stayed quiet. Eventually, he got so bored that he tried to sneak out of the window. His grandma caught him and got really mad, sealing the windows shut so he couldn't escape again. Natalia didn't agree with that. She told her mom, "We can't keep him locked up forever. One day, he has to go out. We already weigh down his pockets with heavy stuff so he stays on the ground. Let's do the same outside." At first, her mom resisted, but after Natalia pleaded with her, she finally agreed. So, Natalia put 2 heavy metal weights in Oscar's pockets and took him outside for the very first time. Oscar was over the moon. It was his first taste of the outside world. Later, Natalia took Oscar to a nearby store and told him to wait outside until she came back. While he waited, he bumped into a little girl named Agatha, and her groceries fell everywhere. Annoyed, Agatha insisted that Oscar carry her bags and walk her home. At first he said no, but after she kept at it, he finally agreed. She handed him 2 heavy bottles of water and told him to follow her. As they walked, Oscar started feeling really tired. The weights in his pockets and the water bottles were making him feel super heavy, so he secretly tossed the weights aside. Luckily, he didn't float up since he was still holding the water bottles. When they reached Agatha's house, she asked for her bottles back. But Oscar was scared that if he let go, he'd float in front of her. Agatha didn't care and snatched the bottles away. In a flash, Oscar shot up into the air like a balloon, gently crashing into the balcony wall and getting stuck there. Agatha was completely stunned. "You're like Superman," she exclaimed. Oscar nervously asked her to help him down, and she quickly ran inside and came back with her school backpack. Oscar held onto it, and the extra weight finally brought him back down to the ground. They both smiled, having just become friends. Oscar begged her not to tell anyone his secret, and Agatha promised to keep quiet. Meanwhile, Natalia and Oscar's grandma were freaking out because Oscar was missing. On the road, Grandma found the metal weights that had been in Oscar's pockets and panicked, thinking he had floated away and maybe even died. But just then, Oscar walked back home wearing Agatha's heavy backpack, which had helped keep him grounded. Natalia asked, "Where did you get that bag?" Oscar replied, "It belongs to my friend Agatha." She then asked if he told Agatha about his ability. Oscar lied and said, "No, Mom, I didn't tell her anything." The next day, Agatha came over and the 2 kids had a blast playing together. Soon, she started visiting every day, and they spent most of their time together. Natalia was okay with it, believing that Agatha didn't know anything about Oscar's powers. But one day, Natalia overheard Agatha asking Oscar how he could fly. Realizing the truth, Natalia decided to put a stop to their friendship. The next morning, when Agatha arrived, Natalia lied and said Oscar wasn't home. Agatha kept coming back day after day, but Natalia never let her in. Oscar stayed locked inside, and the neighbors grew suspicious, thinking Natalia and Grandma were keeping the boy locked up and not sending him to school. The concern escalated and someone filed a police complaint. The next day, 2 officers showed up to investigate. Oscar bravely told them, "My mom and Grandma love me. I'm not being hurt. I don't want to complain about them." The officers left, but warned Natalia that she had to enroll him in school or face arrest. Following their warning, Natalia finally took Oscar to school the next day. But the moment she stepped into the classroom, she noticed something terrifying. All the kids' backpacks were hanging outside the room. Natalia instantly realized the problem. Oscar wouldn't be able to keep his heavy backpack with him, and if the weights in his pockets were removed, he could float right in front of everyone, exposing his secret. Panicking, she took Oscar and rushed him back home. That very week, Natalia decided they needed to disappear. She, Oscar, and her mom moved far away to a remote, snowy area where no one would ever discover Oscar's ability. Years went by, and Oscar grew up, but sadly, his grandma passed away. Now it was just Natalia and Oscar living in their frozen isolation. Natalia protected him like he was her whole world, and Oscar loved her dearly. But being hidden away from society for so long left him feeling lost and emotionally drained. He missed Agatha and kept her backpack with him, hoping it would make him feel connected to her life. After reading superhero comics for years, Oscar started to think that maybe, if the world discovered his powers, he could become famous too, just like the heroes he adored. But every time he brought it up, Natalia shot him down, terrified that revealing his gift would mean losing him forever. Oscar listened for a long time, but one day he just couldn't hold it in anymore. He went to a reality TV talent show and boldly declared, "I can fly." At first, the audience laughed, not believing him. But then, Oscar floated into the air in front of thousands of people. The crowd goes wild with shock and excitement. Seriously, they've never seen anything like it. The episode blows up overnight, and Oscar becomes an instant global sensation. Natalia watches it all unfold on TV, feeling helpless and realizing she can no longer protect him. The very next morning, a talent show promoter named David shows up at Oscar's door, offering him a contract that promises fame and cash. Oscar signs without hesitation because, let's be real, he's always dreamed of being famous for his powers, just like the superheroes he admired. So, David and Oscar hit the road, performing all over the world, and every show is a massive success. People everywhere are obsessed with the guy who defies gravity. Oscar finally has everything he ever wanted, but soon enough, it doesn't feel like a dream anymore. He starts to see himself as nothing more than a circus act, a clown floating for entertainment. This isn't the life he envisioned. Documentaries and short films begin to pop up about him, but they twist the narrative, painting Natalia and his grandmother as villains who abused him and locked him away. They ramp up the drama just to grab viewers' attention. Oscar hates it because, in reality, his grandmother loved him deeply and sacrificed everything to keep him safe. During one show, Oscar is forced to wear an angel costume. As he looks out at the cheering crowd, something inside him shatters. He finally yells, "I'm not an angel. I'm just a normal human being." Frustrated and exhausted, Oscar decides he's done with fame, crowds, and applause. He longs for a real, normal life. When David catches wind of Oscar's decision, he pleads with him not to walk away, but Oscar ignores him. He vanishes from the lives of everyone who knows the truth about his abilities, including Natalia and David. The next day, breaking news spreads like wildfire. Oscar, the man without gravity, is dead. David lies to the media, just as Oscar requested, faking his death so no one will hunt him down or drag him back into the spotlight. Reporters swarm Natalia, demanding answers, but she genuinely has no clue where Oscar went. She stays quiet, and eventually, she passes away too. Fast forward a few years, and we see a completely different Oscar. Now he's in a wheelchair, blending into the background so no one recognizes him. He's changed his identity and works quietly as a hotel receptionist. For the first time, he's genuinely happy, living simply and normally. Yet, he still clings to Agatha. He carries her old backpack. the one that kept him grounded when they were kids. It's the closest thing he has to her. One day, a girl walks into the hotel and spots the backpack, freezing in shock. It's Agatha. She recognizes him instantly, and he recognizes her too. But a lot has changed. Agatha is now living a tough life, coming to the hotel with different men, even when they stand close. It feels like they're miles apart, but Oscar still loves her. One day, he opens up about his feelings, but Agatha barely reacts. She's heard too many empty promises in her life, and emotional words don't impress her anymore. However, as they keep meeting every day, Oscar's sincerity gradually starts to break through to her heart. She realizes she feels something too, something real. Eventually, they get married. Oscar moves back into the home where he once lived with his mother and grandmother, a place filled with memories, both good and painful. But now Agatha is there with him. Together, they build a life full of love, a normal life, a happy life. If you enjoyed this recap, make sure to drop a like, share it with a friend, and hit that subscribe button for more amazing stories just like this one.